The best way to listen to the best of the week is on the Relevant Radio app, free and always free. Download and share the #1 free Catholic app today in the App Store.
Did you hit the movie theaters over the weekend and see the new film that was originally a romance novel by Colleen Hoover called It Ends With Us? The lead actor and actress are Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. And for a little context, Justin Baldoni actually bought the exclusive rights to make this very, very popular romance novel into a film. He also directed it and was the main actor. Now, Blake Lively also had a lot of skin in the game while she co-produced the film and was the lead actress. There's been immense controversy over the film since this weekend. Social media is ablaze with response. Now, whether you saw it or not, a little bit of perspective on the film, it really is ultimately about domestic violence. It was originally a romance novel that does address domestic violence within it. And surrounding the promotion of the film, a lot of people who maybe never read the book had no idea that that was part of the film. And so for many people, it hit a chord of upset, of being, as the culture says today, being triggered by circumstances they've been in, whether it's been childhood abuse, whether it's been domestic violence in their own home today or from childhood. And so there's been criticism, especially toward Blake Lively and the rest of the team, except for Justin Baldoni, over them having really promoted it more so almost as a rom-com, just focusing on the romantic side of the story and missing the major message. Now, controversy stirred even over the red carpet, as Justin Baldoni actually did not appear on the red carpet alongside his fellow cast members. Other cast members were there, but not really making a big deal about the domestic violence side and not even acknowledging it, really, while Baldoni has done his own separate press campaign acknowledging that. Now, when asked why he didn't step onto the red carpet, Justin Baldoni commented, "This isn't my night. This is a night for all the women who we made this movie for," trying to draw attention yet again to the reality of domestic violence. And as you can gather from the name of the film, originally a novel, It Ends With Us, it's about ending that continued wound of domestic violence. A friend of mine said the movie did a great job of showing how hard it is to recognize the abuser in your adult life, that is, someone who's abusing you, or even sometimes even recognizing others who are abused. And it especially helped if you have past trauma of abuse in your life. And so it was meant to be a film of healing and hope, and about how hard it is to break that cycle of abuse, but that it's possible. That's why the story title is It Ends With Us. Now, something that was, I think, particularly striking about the story, and this is a spoiler alert for It Ends With Us, whether you want to watch the movie or maybe you haven't read the book, the spoiler alert is that, like in most stories of domestic violence, when people are often willing to step out of it, especially women, is when they have a responsibility for others. So it's been commented on that it's very powerful that the main character didn't have the courage until after she got pregnant and wanted to protect her baby. This is very true, but it's more complicated than that, is what I would argue. If you know a little bit of my background, I worked in crisis pregnancy center for nearly 6 years. I also spent a lot of time sidewalk counseling in front of the abortion clinic. And I've seen and I've worked with and talked to so many women who have been in circumstances of domestic violence, and how often they're unwilling to leave, or they try to fight to leave that unhealthy relationship, but it's a poison, it's a venom for them that they just can't seem to rid themselves of. Well, why? This idea of being open to life and how we've taken babies out of sex and sex out of marriage. Well, when we took babies out of sex, we took sex out of marriage. And with that, what it led to is people trying on other people. You hear that very common adage, well, how can you know if you don't sleep with them first? These ideas that are so normative to the modern culture, yet contrary to our Catholic faith. Here's what I saw in the crisis pregnancy center. Because these women were engaging in relationships with men whom they hardly knew, and then became romantically involved, which led to the chemical cocktail that happens with a norepinephrine, oxytocin. Oxytocin is that cuddling chemical. The norepinephrine is one that tells the body, hey, wait, hold on, something important is about to happen. Someone important is with you. The serotonin, that sense of serenity and peace. The dopamine, that sense of pleasure. All of these chemicals are firing in the brain, and those neurotransmitters are interacting, that it's throwing out those inhibitions that you have with regard to this particular person. And so why do I bring this up when it comes to domestic violence? These women in the circumstances of domestic violence would have a very difficult time leaving because they're still sleeping with a man or have in the past. And so their brain is connected to him. It's almost like they're wearing the big glasses that people wear when they're blind and the light is still impacting their eyes, and so they need to protect their eyes a bit. It's like you're wearing these huge glasses that give you a very different view of that person, and you can't fully see them for what they are, and you can't leave them even when you know they're harming you. Because sexual intimacy is meant to be a gift that does help to see your spouse, not someone who isn't your spouse, through rosier glasses, through the ups and downs of marriage, the challenges of raising children. And so when we discuss domestic violence, I think that we have to come from a faith-filled perspective, acknowledging when you save sex for marriage, when you really take the time to get to know someone, make sure that they're, for example, not struggling with pornography, that they're safe, they're kind, they're generous. All of these and many other things, this is what helps us to navigate who is a healthy, not a healthy person to be married to, a safe environment within to engage in a long-term relationship. And we start by slowly testing and challenging the waters. There's so much more that could be said of the film and of the whole entire topic of domestic violence. But if you're in a situation you do need help, I'll throw that hotline out there. Help for domestic violence. It's 800-799-7233. That's 800-799-SAFE.
Like what you just heard? Share it with your family and friends. And thanks for listening.